Hello and welcome, all you wonderful, beautiful people, to another draft with me. So, today we're doing a quick draft of Bloomburrow, and we're just gonna see what happens. I think Beza, the Bounding Spring is a pretty good start. Nothing like cracking open a mythic rare. So I didn't really look at the other cards because I knew what I was taking. We'll just see what gets back to us on pick 8 and relax. Okay, so we're gonna see what else we have. Options are open, other than the fact that I actually do want to play Beza, so we're probably gonna have white in our colors somewhere. So now I'm just picking like what looks the most fun or has like the best value as a card. And I decided to go for this green creature, so then I grabbed like this green fight spell, which I'm pretty okay with. We got an overprotect. I liked seeing that. Get a little board protection going on. Maybe we can punch through. Because the nice thing about overprotect is it does give your creature like trample. So it can be used pretty offensively if you need it. Right here I'm reading this card pretty intensely because it's like green and black are the squirrel colors. And I'm thinking, like, I don't really have a lot of squirrels. I don't know if I'm gonna get a lot of squirrels. I don't know how good this card is actually gonna be. But we got double polywallops, and so now I'm just, like, seeing. Like, I took the squirrel that cares about other squirrels just to see if we can get enough for it to actually make a difference. And I don't think it's going to, but, you know, like, live and learn, and we're looking. And hindsight is always, like, 2020, okay? So, wishing well, I don't think is excellent in a draft format. And every time I say that, it's not that you can't make it work, like, you play how you want. But for me, I just haven't really seen it be able to take off well, so I'm not worried about it. And we're moving on. We got another overprotect. One thing that I noticed here, Crumb and Get It's pretty good, is that I'm light on creatures, man. So now that we have like a lot of good spells, I think it's time for us in the draft to just start to like grab some nice creatures that we can actually use these spells with. So hopefully that's my past me's plan as well. We'll see what she's up to, what kind of shit she's on today. And we'll just kind of we'll go along with everything and see what happens. I do like how much spells we were able to find though. Like the polywallops are cool, the overprotects are cool, the sonar strike is awesome. But we just need stuff. We just need creatures. And here I'm actually grabbing a land because I think I have enough spells. Like, I don't think High Stride is gonna do a lot for us here, and I already have a Starforged sword. And I know some of you out there are gonna be like, Amy, creatures are spells. They're creature spells. And to that, I just have to say, like, you know what I mean, okay? And, like, I can't hear you being a smart aleck. I'm just predicting the future for some of you out there. And you know who those of you are, if you are that person. So, in pack 2 here, we're just finishing up, getting all the bits and bobs and the ends out of the way so we can hopefully grab some more meaningful cards. Let's see what we got. Hey, we needed a creature, and this one's green. Perfect. I don't know how many like artifacts and enchantments really pop around in this set. Like Bloomburrow seems very not artifact enchantment heavy, but like sometimes when you get that opponent that's doing one of those builds where they have a lot of them, like it can be pretty hard to deal with. So it's kind of nice to have that creature. Now I'm just looking, I'm like, do I want another 3-cost creature or do I want something cheaper? We're going with the 3-cost one for now, which is okay. But I think what would really make this deck pop is like a couple more two mana costed creatures, maybe like a 1-cost creature, maybe grabbing like the Fountainport Bell so we just have something we can do early in the game. That might be nice. But, oh, hey, I heard myself. Wear down. Okay. Yeah, I would grab the frog too. Oh, I'm getting another sonar strike. Alright. We're going on the ultra defensive. We'll see how well that serves us, honestly. Because my problem is, if you look at, like, my 2-costed spells, a lot of them are creature contingent, or they're, like, removal that doesn't happen till late game. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what I choose to keep and weed out. We're just grabbing the little ends things right here. So what I will do is I will give Past Me the time she needs to make her decisions, and I will get back to you when we have a deck to try out. Here we go. Here's the deck list. So we kept our 1 and 2 cost creature. That's all we have, which is quite wild. I think it's a little bit risky. But at the same time, like, I'm happy with the interaction that we have. The reason I'm so nervous about this is because a lot of, like, the green interaction is creature contingent, which means a lot of that is shut off until we get a creature to stick to the board, which may not be until, like, turn 3. And since we have to pay mana for the creature on turn 3, like, we might not be able to do anything sneaky or tricky or remove their creatures until, like, turn 4 or later. And with how aggressive Bloomburrow is as a set, that may be too late for us and that might not serve us well. So, notably, we also only have the Tree Guard duo, the 4-cost creature, that has the card type Frog. So our Polywallops will normally cost the full 4 mana, which is not great, but I still think it might be better than not having them. So let's see what kind of shenanigans we can get up to. Okay, well, we got both our colors, and we actually got one of our low-cost creatures, which is quite lucky for us. So we're gonna keep it. Here we go. Playing our 1-cost creature. And they immediately have one that's better than mine. That's okay. Could be worse. It's okay. Get our second color down. And now we wait. I chose not to attack. I feel like attacking there would have been fine. Because if they wanted to trade, like, it's a pretty good trade for us. But you know, we have Sonar Strike, which is, like, really nice. We won't be gaining the life because we don't have a bat. But being able to, like, interact with their creatures is nice for us. Okay, they countered Pot. I guess we'll wait then. They play an uncommon rat. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. Alright, so they got some card selection going on. It is what it is. And we are drawing plenty of lands to play. So at this point, I think we just want to draw spells. That's where we're at. The flyer here feels nice, because at least we can start hitting them. We'll let them attack us. I suppose that's fine. So then the question is, do I want to play the Tree Guard duo? Or do I want to leave up the Sonar Strike? Sonar Strike is an instant, so I guess we'll leave it up. And we'll see what they do. They're coming in. We'll get rid of the creature that always has 3 power. I know the other one has prowess, but there might be turns like this one where they just don't trigger it, and then it's a lot less of a big deal. Do we commit to the board, or do we slap their creature around? Maybe we attack first, in case they have something like that. Okay. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power. So, we can actually take out the crab, which is pretty nice. So, like, they stalled us for a turn, but the tides didn't turn. Okay, they have another creature. It's low power, at least. And they paid for the offspring, so they got a little bit of a wide board, but nothing that blocks our flyer, which is pretty okay for us. They took the kidnap card. That might be kind of an issue for us. Anytime someone steals your stuff, it feels bad. Unless you're the one stealing, and nothing's stealing. But we're just gonna try to like punch them. Because at this point, that's kind of all we can do. And then if we leave up the overprotect, if they try to steal our creature, we can give our thing hexproof, and then maybe it won't get stolen, you know? That would be nice. So, we'll see what they have, we'll see what they do. I would like my creature to stay mine. Thank you. Oh wow, they had 2 of the Stormlight Mentors, that's pretty cool. And we needed a real spell there. Wee. So I counted up how much power they have, and this way the toughness on my creature is too big for theirs. So if nothing else, we're forcing them to whittle down their board. And they still have 4 cards in hand, which is way more than us. So the hope now is we can just somehow like get through everything here. And the Tempest Angler is a card that just does a lot of work. And we needed not a land there. So that's a bummer. I do feel like they really need to block. If I give my creature +1/+1 and then swing, they're likely going to chump block or try to trade. Okay. That's good for us. And I guess we have a food, so we're not worried about necessarily like getting hit by their 3/3. They have another instant or sorcery, their board can get pretty big though. They have a 4-power creature, that's a little rough. They're gonna take control of one of our creatures, I suppose. 2 or less, or if you control another lizard. I think they wanted my bigger creature and now they're sad it didn't work out that way. But you know what? They got a 1/1, so it is what it is. I'm kind of glad it's not an instant and sorcery. I'm also kind of upset that like they have a 4-power creature to block with. But that's not what we needed. Because now they are really pressuring us. Kind of a rough position to be in. Because if we attack and they don't block, even if we eat the food, I think they can swing it for lethal. So we're just getting really bad luck on lands. And that's about it. So even if we block their 4/4, they can hit us for 8. We can eat both our food and gain 6 life, but I think this was very much likely probably over when we drew the first of these 3 forests in a row. I guess maybe Beza could help us. And we got a land. Alright, that's it. We got shut out of the game. And we're back with game 2. Even though it feels like I didn't go anywhere to go. I only have planes, and that makes me a little worried because half our deck and most of the cards in our hand are green. And we have the scrap shooter, which wants 2 forests. So I'm not sure this one looks any better. I mean, we got something to play on turn 2 and turn 4, and feels like we're not being done too many favors here. Like, if we get another forest, our mana curve looks pretty okay. If we don't get another forest on this draw, things might be pretty rough. Okay, it's not a forest, so things might be rough, but it gets us a forest. I'm activating the ability now. I know the opponent could be like, oh, but what if they have something, and always wait till the last minute to like do things because you give away information and whatever, and it's like, sometimes I'm not in the mood to like constantly interrupt opponents on their turn. Like we're playing draft in Bloomburrow. It's 1 white mana and I have no creatures on the board. Like there's nothing I'm really gonna do. So that's my reason for not playing, quote, optimally right there. But a 4/4 for 3 mana that has reach. It's not bad. We're doing pretty okay for the moment. And they're coming in for the swing anyway. I feel like they have something. So taking 5 damage might hurt a little bit. But if they have like an overprotect, I'd rather keep my creatures so I can use Polywallop and just get rid of something than let them do whatever it is they really wanted me to do there. So that's where we're at. And now I'm thinking, sometimes you just gotta let a girl think. And instead of polywalloping, we want to play a creature. We'll see what they have. They got something in their hand. I don't know what. But something. They're thinking. They're thinking very hard. They have a polywallop, okay. Well, sure. I guess. why they did that. He doesn't have haste. And now they don't have a trick because they didn't want to attack. Interesting how that is, right? Get rid of their biggest creature. And then we're gonna play our tiniest creature. The life disparity is a little big, and I don't really want them to double block and have me left with just a 1/1, so we're not attacking quite yet. We'll get there. In due time. Flyer isn't great for us because we lost our reach creature. But a coyote's a great draw. We'll just take back their flyer. Thank you. And I could make the tree guard duo a 4/5 and then offer them like a double block, trade one creature for 2 of theirs. I think I'm extra okay with that because they're not inclined to do that if they want to get rid of the coyote or like threaten to get rid of the coyote by double blocking. I also don't know what's in their hand, but it's 1 card, and if they have a combat trick, they have a combat trick. Sometimes you just gotta slog through stuff. Alright. The life totals are getting closer. They got another land. I wonder if they're doing what we did last game, where they're just like bricking. No, they actually have spells. Alright, well, I guess it's just us then. Okay. You want to give him menace? Nope, they don't want to attack. Okay. That's a pretty good draw. You know what? I like getting the Starforged sword here. We can make something huge. And we have plenty of mana, but I want it now. So we're just gonna pay for it. Or not pay for it, excuse me. We're just gonna make that fish. And it gives them a chump blocker, so like irresponsible, maybe. But because it comes in tapped, if they don't want to take 7, they have to get rid of like one of their more valuable creatures. And I'm okay with that. Because the more things we get off their table, the better. Let's see what they feel like doing. Okay, to combat, full swing, that's weird. What do they have? Like, what could they actually have that would pump 7 damage to 13? Nothing? Okay. What's in your hand? Okay. To combat. 2 attacks. think the thought here is we play the share pot and we just make a food. Okay, they're gaining life. Okay. Sure. They're at 19. Why does it feel like we've done nothing to them all game? What do they do? Okay. Here we go. Make our own food. Now they don't have lethal. Sure. Alright. Feels risky. Should have blocked with the coyote. Maybe on like the little 1/1 fish, because then Saver still wouldn't help them. But, you know, it is what it is. If they swing with everything, and then they block with the mind drill, suddenly I'm in a bad spot. But I can also sacrifice the share pot to get rid of their blocker, and then they lose. So I wonder what's that? Yeah, they missed it. Alright, good game. Game 3. We got the 1-cost creature again. We've been getting pretty lucky with finding them. It would be nice to have like a third land. Particularly any third land. Alright, a forest, cool. I was gonna try to pick a color, but we have one creature who wants 2 green pips, and we have one creature who wants 2 white, so, you know, it is what it is. Eventually we'll get around to playing both of them. The worry is they're playing a really good card, and they got it out on turn 1. So that's kind of a problem, that enchantment. But with the scrap shooter, maybe we can just like gift them whatever it is that we gift them to just get that thing off the battlefield. So we'll see what I do. And they also got the Manifold Mouse, which is a really good card. So they had an excellent draft. Playing the Tempest Angler, which is also a good card. They're just sitting over here with like 2 rares on the battlefield on turn 3 that work well together. Not a big deal, but we'll block it. We don't need to gift a food. And I'm happy to see that thing go. Yay! Let's play our forest. And I would give him the gift. It feels weird and like bad to give opponents cards, but it's like, how many cards are gonna be better than like that, you know? So we'll give him the gift, we'll get that thing off the field, feel a little bit safer, no equipped double striking, whatever it is when that enchantment levels up, that's so problematic. And we'll see what happens. They have a bell. I wonder if they want a land or not. They do. Okay. They must have like something big in there. Wow. Pretty big angler. Do I want to trade? This is probably one of the only chances we're gonna get to trade. Because it seems like they built their deck to make that angler huge. And that's why I'm thinking about this so hard. They have a saver. We're in a really bad spot. Okay. That one made me nervous. Alright, another land. Another land. We have our two planes now. So I choose to do the bat first, just because when it attacks we gain life. And I'm okay with doing that. I also like the peerless recycling because we can bring back our 4/4 reach raccoon that gets rid of an artifact or enchantment. Because it feels like their deck kind of wants to do that. Storm Splitter. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a token that's a copy of Storm Splitter. And then get rid of it at the end of turn. It only has 1 power. So I could block it. I'm just not sure if they had something because they were so like into attacking right there, and we're gonna gain the life back with our bat. So here we're choosing to get back our raccoon rather than play out the Thistledown players. I feel like either option would be correct. Simply because putting something else on the board that's like large enough to block the Storm Splitter doesn't sound bad. It's like a better use of mana, technically, because it costs more, but you know, it is what it is. And I think like getting the scrap shooter back isn't a bad idea, because as having 4 power, it could threaten to actually like kill the Storm Splitter, and the Thistledown players can't do that. So that is where the thinking is at. But we might play the Drift Gloom Coyote as well and just exile that problematic otter over there. They're thinking. I have no idea what they're thinking about. But they are thinking very hard. Or they got disconnected. Who knows? Alright, I'm assuming they got disconnected. Which is okay. For us. Not so okay for them. It's always kind of sad when somebody gets disconnected. Especially in a draft when, like, you have to pay to be here. With some kind of in-game currency. But we'll play the coyote. We'll do what we were gonna do anyway. Exile the Storm Splitter. We'll attack with the bats. We'll gain a life. And we'll just do what we do. Alright. That was it. 2 lands. 1 3-drop creature. But there's no guarantee we can play. This is a pretty sketchy hand, and I kept it. That's not a good idea. Oh boy. On some shit today. There was no way I could have gotten probably a luckier draw. Maybe Fountain Port, you could argue, would have been a little bit better, but I don't want to hear it. Okay. Do we want them to have their enchantment? Do I care? I don't feel like giving them a card. They can have it. If they get enough counters on their creatures to like pay the mana to draw cards, go for it. Okay. Little free guard duo action. I don't know why they buffed just him, but sure. Probably because it doesn't matter, they weren't gonna attack because I would just bluff. Alright, we'll play our planes. And we could hold up Sonar Strike. We could play the Thistledown plays. We could play the Seed Pod Squire. There's a lot we could do here. Long stuff, bro. Bye. That was so brutal. Okay. Alright. Cool. So we have 2 creatures. Ooh, they have a Fountain Port. That's pretty good. Land that just makes them chump blockers. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so what do I want to do about it? Whenever you expend 4, this creature gains indestructible. That's pretty good. It might be time to just start getting aggressive, getting in there. Cause like, what are they gonna do? Jump block all day? Probably. We're gonna give our 4/4 vigilance, kind of. Oh, they want to double block him. 2 damage. Why? Oh, we're waiting to see what they do. Okay. It was a good effort, but I also had something. Make another fish, and pass. I feel like we're gonna see that a lot. Whenever you expend 4 raccoons you control, get +1/+1 and gain vigilance. Hit him with everything, what are you doing? Alright. What you got? Sonar Strike, ooh. Dang. They didn't want to block with their fish. Okay. Why? I guess maybe they want to accumulate the fish. Oh, they didn't have the mana because of the Sonar Strike. Get back in it, girl. Announcing me is falling apart. Okay, they have a 4/4 and they gave us a fish to do it. Sure. I have a Polywallop, I can just get rid of it. It would be really funny if, like, I could use my fish to fight theirs, destroy theirs. But I can't. Oh, good game. That went well. Another 2 land opening hand. I have a Sonar Strike in it, and the Bark Knuckle Boxer. Yeah, I figured I'd keep it. Looks like something I'd do. There we go, getting lucky draw in the forest again. And it looks like they're being aggressive. Raccoon Rallier. Red-white is usually aggressive. Oh, they got one of the better cards, the Whiskerful Scribe. Okay. What do I want to do? Yeah, I wouldn't attack either. We do have a Crumb and Get It. And an Overprotect. We could play both of those in the same turn, but I doubt we would want to. Give that boy haste. We also have a Sonar Strike, so I guess we shall see what spells I like to do. Pass. What you got? Come and get it. Ooh, I'm thinking. Ooh, because it's like I could trade, then I wouldn't be able to hold up this creature to do a lot of like fighting-ish spells with later. I could play the Tree Guard duo. And I can't block. Moonrise Cleric is pretty good. Or I could block, excuse me, but I wouldn't be able to play like the Crumb and Get It or the Overprotects. I can't do that with this Moonrise Cleric either. I do get more value out of the Tree Guard duo, like the more creatures I have on the board. They had some. Okay, you're gonna hit me for 4, sure. Alright. There's the Bark Knuckle, Indestructible, and Vigilance. Okay. Yep. And now I have 2 blockers. Vanishing Light, you say? That means that creature doesn't go to the graveyard, which is kind of a bummer for me. With the Peerless Recycling. But at the same time, I can get a creature back from the graveyard. Not give them a gift with the Peerless Recycling. Jeez. They go with that mouse. So I guess my best bet would be Peerless Recycle to get a creature back, and then hold up like Crumb and Get It or Overprotect. That's what I would be doing. But I can do what I want. So we'll see what they do, we'll see what they have. Two cards. They got 2 Rainbow Captain. Do combat on your turn. Do something terrible. Okay. They didn't want to attack. I guess they're winding up for next turn. It's pretty crazy. We'll pull a creature back. Go to my turn. If that was an untapped land, this would be a very different story. It's tapped. Hey. Well, we'll play a second body so it's harder for them to get around us. But knowing how they built their deck, they're probably going to do something here. Let's see what you got. I see you looking at your 2 cards, mousing over them. They keep highlighting and unhighlighting. What you got? Wow, they're really in it. That card must be interesting. If they play a mountain that's not good for us. With the trample. I think that is game. Yeah, it doesn't matter how I block if they swing with everything. And they didn't. Why? Why would you not swing with everything? It's like I don't even really want to care about blocking. Because it's like, it doesn't matter. Next turn they can just swing and kill me too. Hey, I don't know why they would give me another turn, but okay. Maybe they didn't see it. Okay. Go to 1. And draw a Beza. Maybe I'll live. Nope. Why are these planes haunting me? Alright. There's no way out of this one, that's for sure. And we're back at it for another game. We have 3 lands this time. And the proper amount of forests to cast our 3-cost creature. Let's see if we can not get run over by a hyper-aggressive. Barricade's a card I haven't seen in a while, even with the drafts. Might as well get the tapped land out of the way, yeah. So now we have 2 sources of white and 2 of green, which means we're very happy individuals. Have you noticed we haven't gotten Beza like once the whole time? And everyone else is just popping off with whatever it is that they have. We'll play our first raccoon of the game. And see what they have, see what they do. That is a chunky boy, but I'm okay with trade. 5 is a little too uncomfortable to take, I think. So we'll play the scrap shooter. Because maybe we can get enough cards in the graveyard for the treetop centuries at a later point. Why would you attack with a bunny? I would not block. I would rather take 1 than lose my 4/4 to a combat trick. Thank you. We're going straight for the coyote. Let's see what they have. Let's just mess with them a little bit. Alright. Nope. Okay. They could have sacrificed the barricade and had it like a shot blocker, but alright. They want their wide board, probably because they're on the offensive. Maybe attacking is silly. I don't know. I still wouldn't block. I wouldn't do it. Especially because if the coyote dies, like they get their creature back. Not interested. Okay, they exiled the land. It's fine with me. We have options. I do need to know which options I like. They are tapped out, so if they do have a combat trick, they're not using it this combat. Okay. We'll get rid of their high power creature, and then we'll attack. And now we have more life than them. That feels nice. Going on the offensive over here. Orders overflow. What is that? If you expend 4, put a stash count on this. Okay. So I guess we'll full attack. Why not? Okay, maybe why not? Because I don't want to use the overprotect on the 3/2. It's fine. That's it, you're just chump blocking? You don't want to chump block the 4/4, you want to chump block the 3/2, the 3/4. They probably have something that deals damage, right? Yes. Alright, well, this is a good use of an overprotect. Oh, and they quit. Okay, good game. 2 lands, only forests. I don't know how I feel about that. We've been getting lucky with drawing a 3rd land, but like, oh man, I hate this hand more. Ugh, great. Alright, I guess we put the... And we're back to 2 lands. Oh boy. We should have kept the first hand. This is why I am so stubborn about mulliganing. And I know last week I like made it a point to point out to like you all and myself like, oh, this mulligan worked out in my favor. And that's because I feel like more often than not these mulligans just jip me hard. Like, our hand is trash, our board is trash, like we're gonna get outrun as soon as they play something. Yep, there you go. And it's just not looking good for us. And they have so many cards. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay. Well, great. Sure. Maybe we can block and use like Crumb and Get It or something. And just get their 3 power off the board. Maybe we can stall long enough to like get another forest and get a better creature, but like I don't know. I think we got blocked out of this game the second I tried to be responsible and mulligan. So my bad. Okay, they have a 4/4, sure. And they don't want to attack, even better. Now it's just a 4/2. Sweet. And we drew a card we can't play. Nothing like drawing dead when they have everything in the world. Alright, I guess we do nothing. Yep. I mean, the longer they take, the more options or chances we have to like draw out of this. So, we shall see. They surveil and they like what they see, and they're amassing an army of flyers that we cannot block. Sounds horrible. They're like, oh, I'll swing with my 5/5. But I'm not gonna swing when it was a 4/4. Ridiculous. I I guess it's because they wanted to not trade with an overprotect. But what about 2 of my cards? It's terrible. Yep, give him a fish. We'll do what we can. We're gonna take out their creature that buffs their non-flyers. And we'll hope that that gives us enough time to do something. If we draw a forest and they don't smite our mouse, we can Polywallop something. They're just going wide. They're like, I don't care. You're not gonna do anything. And they're probably not wrong. Like, what am I going to do? We can't block the 3/3 ever. And it buffs the board. So we're getting the most power off the board by taking out the 3/3. I'm assuming they're still gonna poke us with the first strike and their flyer. Because, like, why wouldn't you? If we drew a land and could play the coyote, that would have felt really, really good. I personally wouldn't attack here. I'm not sure why I felt like it. But I think the main reason is because even if I double blocked their first striker, I don't see this game as being winnable. Now, that's a very irresponsible reason, and I should have saved them, double blocked, or threatened to double block. But, you know, like, it is what it is, and I can do that now, so okay. And as long as their creatures on the ground don't have a chance to get through, I have a couple more turns, since their flying creature has a power of 1. Okay. Yeah, I would put it on the bottom too, because we do want to land for the coyote. They are not making this easy. But you know what wasn't making this easy to begin with was that mulligan down to 5. We'll give it another turn, see if we draw planes. We draw planes! Look at me go! I even guessed the type of land we were gonna draw. That's pretty lucky. I decided to grab the flyer because we can't block the flyer. No, don't attack. They're just gonna spin it and go around you. Why? Why? Alright, well now it doesn't matter. Like, there was no coming back from that. Because watch, I'm gonna draw something silly at the end. Although drawing Beza would be cool. Nope. Mistakes were made. That's okay. That game was not kind to us. So there you go. That was a quick draft with a Bloomburrow. For those of you keeping count, we got 4 wins and 3 losses. I'm pretty happy with how this deck performed. One of the games we lost was because we drew like at least 3 lands in a row and we just bricked hard. We didn't have spells for the multiple turns in a row while our opponents did, so we kind of drew out of that game. And the last game, even though I did make mistakes, I think the Death Note was just having really rough luck with the mulligans. And then we just got like run over by an aggressive deck. And so I think that even though you would like to see when you draft like more productive things to do on turn 2, especially in a set that's as low to the ground and aggressive as Bloomburrow, I think we did like a really good job. And I'm pretty happy with the fact that we won more than we lost. And I hope that you enjoyed our little Selesnya deck where we didn't get to play the mythic rare that we opened for our first pick in pack 1 once. um, so that's all I have for you. And if you want to see double, you can check out the Patreon where I have an extra video that goes up every time I upload here, but don't feel obligated to give me money. And I will see you next Friday for a brand new draft.